We're worried about the relationship that we're trying to build. We're worried that the person's going to get upset with us. Sometimes we're wired to think, hey, like, who do I think I am to call on their boss and upset them? And the reality being that we have to call on the person who's going to be making the decisions, or this may not happen, and the person you're trying to help might not get the help that they need because we can't help it make it happen. Mm-hmm. Now, that's what's happening in our minds. But the other thing that's happening in the buyer's minds, the reason why they're not necessarily willing to bring their boss in, is one, because they don't know if they can trust you to say and do the right things in front of their boss to make them look good. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to waste their boss's time. So if we're not asking a lot of good questions because of our own need for approval, we don't want to upset people, or we're getting emotionally involved, we're not asking those tough questions that's going to get the person we are talking to think differently, or to say, you know what, I don't know the answer to that. Presenting obstacles that they might encounter, pitfalls that they might need to maneuver through, asking them questions about who else have they talked to about this internally, what's important to the people who are making the decision. And if they don't know the answers, then that's when we say, how do we get that person involved in this conversation so that we're most effective in not wasting anybody's time? Depending on the relationship that you have with that particular person, is to say, when I reach out to so-and-so, what do you think is the best way to position this particular issue? It's not asking, can I, do you mind if I, it's a, when I do this, what do you think is the best way to go about it? So one is asking those thought-provoking questions to get I don't knows, to get those people involved. Two being what is just saying, when I reach out to this person, what's the best way to do it? But then the third one is to then ask, what is their decision-making process internally? Who needs to get involved, at what stages, and what information is most important to them? Mm-hmm. So that it becomes a milestone and a roadmap that you've built together with that person of when their boss is going to get involved and what they need for information to feel comfortable doing that. So they're setting the expectation that this is going to happen by asking, how do these things get done internally? In that question of how do I do this with them is going to be able to just role playing and practicing those different techniques with them in that conversation. Mm-hmm. And when you do the role play in the coaching call with them, ask them what their worst fear is. What is it that you think is going to happen if you ask this person to talk to their boss? What's the worst thing that you can think of? And then just play it out with them and say, okay, did the world end? Does your cat, does your dog, do your kids still love you?